The fascinating history of the 1989 Canadian 1-cent coin, Elizabeth II, Dei Gratia Regina. Imagine holding a small 12-sided copper coin in your palm, its edges slightly worn from countless transactions in Canadian pockets, cash registers, and vending machines. On one side, the elegant profile of a young Queen Elizabeth II gazes right, crowned with a tiara, encircled by the Latin inscription Elizabeth II DG Regina. On the other, two delicate maple leaves sprout from a single twig, with 1 cent 1989 Canada proudly displayed alongside the initials KG. This is the 1989 Canadian penny, a humble yet powerful symbol of Canadian identity, monarchy, and national heritage. Though minted in over 1 billion copies that year alone, its story spans centuries of history, art, symbolism, and economic change. Let's dive into the captivating tale of its front and back sides, who created it, why it was made, when, and its true value today. Welcome to Vault of Old Coins. Here, we bring you the oldest, the rarest, and the most mysterious coins from around the world. Do you want to know which coin is worth millions? Which coin is hiding one of history's biggest secrets? And which coin looks ordinary today, but could make you rich tomorrow? So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's open the Vault of Old Coins. The obverse of this 1989 penny features the second official effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by British sculptor Arnold Machin, 1911 to 1999. Machin was no ordinary artist. Born in Stoke-on-Trent, England, he trained as a China painter before studying at the Royal College of Art. A conscientious objector during World War II, he later became a renowned sculptor and member of the Royal Academy. His big break came in 1964 when he was commissioned to create a new portrait of the Queen for British and Commonwealth coinage. Queen Elizabeth II ascended the throne in 1952 at age 25. Her first coin portrait, by Mary Gillick, showed her as a youthful monarch wearing a laurel wreath. By the mid-1960s, as decimalization approached in Britain and coins needed modernization across the Commonwealth, a more mature yet timeless image was required. Machin sculpted the Queen at age 39. The portrait captures her likeness from around 1964 to 65, wearing the famous Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a diamond-encrusted piece gifted to her grandmother, Queen Mary. The result was elegant, dignified, and regal. The Queen faces right in profile, her hair styled in soft waves, the tiara adding a sparkle of royalty. The inscription, Elizabeth II DG Regina, is Latin for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. DG stands for Dei Gratia, a traditional phrase emphasizing divine right and continuity with centuries of British monarchs. This effigy was approved personally by the Queen and introduced on Canadian coins in 1965, replacing the Gillick portrait. It remained in use until the end of 1989. A remarkable 25-year run that symbolized stability during Canada's post-war growth, the Quiet Revolution in Quebec, and the patriation of the Constitution in 1982. Why this design for Canada? As a constitutional monarchy, Canada recognizes the British monarch as its head of state. The Royal Canadian Mint, RCM, established in 1908 in Ottawa, has always featured the reigning sovereign on coin obverses to affirm this link. Machin's portrait brought a sense of modernity and grace to everyday currency. Interestingly, the Queen herself reviewed and approved Machin's plaster models. Machin later joked that creating her likeness was like sculpting a legend. His design was also used on UK stamps, the famous Machin series from 1967, and coins in Australia, New Zealand, and other realms, making it one of the most reproduced royal portraits in history. By 1989, this portrait had become iconic to a generation of Canadians. It represented not just the Queen, but Canada's place in the Commonwealth. In 1990, it was replaced by a new effigy by Hungarian-Canadian sculptor Dora de Pedery Hunt, the first Canadian-designed royal portrait, showing a more mature queen at age 64 wearing a diamond diadem. The 1989 penny thus marks the final year of Machine's beloved design on circulation coins. Flip the coin, and you enter the heart of Canadian symbolism. Two maple leaves on a twig, designed by George Edward Kruger Gray, 1880 to 1943. Kruger Gray, an Australian-born artist who worked extensively for the British Royal Mint, created this design in 1937 as part of a major modernization of Canadian coinage under King George VI. Before 1937, Canadian pennies had varied designs, but the new maple twig brought unity and national pride. Why maple leaves? The sugar maple, Acer saccharum, has been a Canadian icon since before Confederation in 1867. Indigenous peoples used maple sap for centuries. European settlers adopted it, and by the 19th century, the maple leaf appeared on flags, military badges, and the coat of arms. It symbolizes resilience, beauty, and the vast forests of Canada. Kruger Gray's design shows two leaves joined at the stem, representing unity and diversity, perhaps the coming together of English and French Canada, or simply nature's elegance. His initials, KG, appear discreetly on the right. This reverse remained largely unchanged for decades, a testament to its timeless appeal. In 1982, for the 1989-style penny, the coin was made 12-sided, a curved dodecagon, to help visually impaired Canadians distinguish it by touch from dimes or quarters. The weight was reduced to 2.5 grams. Composition 98% copper, 0.5% tin, and 1.5% zinc, bronze. Diameter 19.1 millimeters. These changes made production cheaper while maintaining tradition. The 12-sided shape was a practical innovation born from public feedback and accessibility needs. It also reflected Canada's innovative spirit in the 1980s, a time of economic growth under Prime Minister Brian Mulroney, free trade talks with the U.S., and cultural confidence. This coin was struck by the Royal Canadian Mint at its facilities in Ottawa and Winnipeg. No mint mark appears, as all were produced domestically. In 1989, a staggering 1,066,628,200 to 1,077,347,200 circulation pennies were minted, enough to circle the earth multiple times if laid flat. Proof and specimen versions were also made for collectors, around 155,000 proofs. The penny was essential for small transactions in a cash-based economy. Prices like 99 cents required it. Without pennies, rounding would frustrate shoppers. It was made to facilitate commerce, uphold the decimal system introduced in 1858, replacing pounds/shillings under Queen Victoria, and serve as legal tender. The RCM's mandate is to provide reliable currency that reflects Canadian values, monarchy on front, nature/nation on back. The story gains interest when you learn the penny's cultural role. Children saved them in piggy banks. Penny drives funded charities, and idioms like "a penny for your thoughts" entered Canadian English. Yet by the late 1980s, production costs were rising. Copper prices fluctuated, hinting at future troubles. The penny was discontinued in 2012 because it cost 1.6 cents to make but was worth only 1 cent, with surveys showing most Canadians rounded prices and hoarded them anyway. In the international market, eBay, auctions, Numista, NGC, a standard circulated 1989 Canadian penny is worth mere cents, about 0.04 Canadian dollars melt value, copper content. Uncirculated MS-63, $70 to $700, Gem MS-65, $200 to $2,000, ultra-rare MS-67, up to $8 to $9 million. Proofs fetch $1,000 to $20,000. That's for ultra-rare errors like the 1936 dot penny or misstrikes. This 1989 is common due to massive mintage. Collectors prize it for history, not rarity. In pristine rolls or sets, it might sell for $50 to $1,000 abroad, only if you find a unique variety, none major known for 1989. This coin tells a story of empire to nationhood, art meeting utility, and a small piece of metal carrying big symbolism. From Machine's royal grace to Kruger Gray's leafy pride, it connects us to Canada's past.